This will be a bit different from my usual T.A.C style of review, mostly because I find myself a bit biased with this particular game and the company behind it. Plus, given my experience with this game, it's really hard for me to generate a solid game guide like I would usually undertake. So, in the spirit of giving you, my friendly viewer, the information you likely want to know quickly, here is the Crux. Wartales is a masterclass of a tactical role-playing game presented to consoles by Shiro Games that, once again, highlights their blatant disregard and possible disrespect towards non-PC gamers. Now, let me elucidate. This most recent Nintendo Direct had quite a few announcements that really piqued my interest. Between Unicorn Overlord and Wargrove 2, strategy gamers are certainly looking to eat very well, so to speak. However, one announcement that came from left field was the announcement of Shiro Games' open-world medieval tactical strategy game, Wartales. Now, this was originally released exclusively for PC back in, I believe it was 2020, This was a game that really caught my attention, but due to its exclusivity, faded from my sight for some time. The concept? Simple. Lead a ragtag band of adventurers across a wide open world, making a name for yourself by completing quests, winning battles, and just enthralling yourself in your own story and narrative. By comparison, you can think of it similar to the classic Fallout games or the Wasteland series, where you start by selecting various background questions for your starting parameters and members, then move forward to go on your adventure. And if I'm sincere, I can't really complain about the core gameplay loop. It's refreshing to make your adventure, and the opening options allow for such a diverse way to proceed through the game, offering substantial replayability. To have the opportunity to play this on a console is, at utmost, an experience that all strategy gamers should enjoy, especially as many of you might be familiar with Northgard, another Shiro Games title that is one of the best takes on RTS games I have had in a while, especially on a console. And honestly, that experience on the console is nonetheless well worth every penny, senny, or yenny spent. Yet, if you're in the know about Northgard, then you probably likely have an inkling of where my concerns are coming from. Now, look, I spent a lot of time here writing out a long narrative prose highlighting what I feel is the tragic fall of Northgard on consoles, and honestly, between writing this review, thoughts, prose, and the additional hours I've poured into Wartales with the consistent poor experience that I had, I just felt getting into all of it is just not worth it. So here's the gist of the story. Northgard is a story of how a game dev egged on console gamers who then backed out citing concerns with quality to then hire a brand new team to produce a fully functional mobile port with the same level of PC quality, clearly showing that they did not want to waste any effort on consoles. Better yet, even after all these announcements of the cancellation of console support, they just so happened to release one extra DLC clan that dropped with no prior information in early 2023. I mean, the official bye-bye console post, I think, dated back to 2021 or 2022, so the communication and the direction that Shiro Games has had with its console fan base is just shows that it's not worth their time. And looking at Wartales, this screams all of those problems plus more. Now, I've had my Switch since 2018, and I've played an eclectic amount of games that can only be described as enormous. And with the number of system crashes I've experienced while playing these diverse range of games, I could count on a single hand. Wartales had crashed no less than 7 times in 30 minutes, with all errors happening while using different battle elements, and, more nervously, the game's saving and loading systems. Every time I tried to load a previous save in the game, it crashed. I went back to the title screen from the game itself, tried to reload, it crashed again. For an open world game where you make your own adventure, the thought of data corruption each time weighed on me like a demented storm of Damocles' parable. And honestly, I'm not even going to get into the long loading times and how the visual fidelity is just severely lacking. And honestly, trying to get information for attack review would literally just boil down to: you run on an overworld map interacting with elements and static screens that are hard to navigate using PC controls. There are minimal, insufficient tutorials, and the battles are turn-based on a bland map with elements that may crash your game whenever you use them. Additionally, the PC controls have the potential to soft lock your cursor options when in menus, causing you to perform actions that you don't really need or want to do. Battle's difficulty can be controlled through various options at the start of the game and changed whenever, but the AI seems to be very scripted. I had actually done the same battle 13 times due to said crashing that I mentioned, and performed the same movements each and every time. The AI always made the same exact counterplay with zero variation, so I was honestly able to win battles that I was completely underleveled for and undergeared by just simple manipulation. Save a lot. Maybe save in different slots too, and just hope no data corruption happens. If you need to reload your game at any part, you might as well just shut down the whole game and start from the beginning. Also, poison as an effect is just completely ridiculous. In its current state, I cannot, with any semblance of respect for you, my dear viewer, recommend this game. As much as you may have loved Shiro Games' other projects, the state of this game, of Wartale in particular, especially as a timed console exclusive on the Switch, is just flat out disrespectful. If you really need this game on the Switch and you really gotta play it, wait for a sale or at least some substantial updates that the game desperately needs. Or better yet, go buy their older game Northgard, as this might actually get them to care about informing us and keeping more updates so we can finally get some of all of those new clans that the PC and mobile devices have had for years now. Finally, if you are for some reason a newcomer to the genre, you saw this in the direct and you're looking for a recommendation if this would be good for you, kind of entering into the strategy game genre, there are plenty of other games with better experiences that you can play for less money. In fact, this channel has quite a few videos highlighting some of the best strategy games on the Switch, one of which is right here. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be kind, be caring, my friends, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers!